You're still tuning to Zalif 102.1. This is Showbiz Agenda, and I've got M.anifest with me in the studio, ready for us to have a good conversation and also to talk about his upcoming event. M.anifest, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Nice one.
I think this is my first time here, actually.
Wow.
I know. So
never been here.
Never been here. I always listen and well, not always, but when I get a chance, I take a listen and then I watch all the controversial videos on.
Oh, you do. And what's your take on the show, though? What's your take? I mean, when you do listen, what do you think about Showbiz Agenda?
No, I think it's good to have a show that's focused on the arts and have engaging dialogue about it every time. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
Right. Now, you have a joint with A.B. Krenzel. I mean, an OG.
Yeah.
Is there a special reason for his selection? And again, for that particular song, Yawadzoye?
Yeah, because I think that song is classic, not just musically big, but in terms of what it was saying. And I think at the time we were trying to work on a Clean Beach project, and I was asked to do a song to support that project. And basically that song was perfect. We approached him, and he was generous enough to decide to do this remake with me, and it's a challenge. A classic like that, you're free to touch.
It's a challenge,
but the vibes were there, and we made it happen. So it was an honor for me. Yeah.
And how was it like working with him? I mean, in studio together.
I mean, he had jokes. He had a very cool vibe. I mean, for me, I always look at those things, and it makes my life or career surreal. That people that even were doing music before I was born, or were and had their music I've lived this long. Now I'm a creator. They are willing to share space with me. I definitely look at it as an honor. Yeah.
And so it was interesting working with A.B. Krenzel.
Oh, of course.
Is he the first, OG that you have worked with?
No. I've worked with Abel Taylor as well. Uncle Abel Taylor, who's also kind of a family friend as well, and brilliant. I mean, when I was making my transition back to Ghana, he actually gave a lot of good advice, helped to point us to musicians to work with in the first band I worked with and all of that. I did something for Channel O in which we went to Salt Pond. He played the guitar, and they're looking forward to maybe catching him again one of these days to actually do
Abel Taylor.
Yeah.
To learn some more from him?
Definitely. We have been to Salt Pond like 3 times to see him, so now and then.
Right.
And he always open arms,
So do you think that as young artists like yourself and others who are doing this whole music business, it's always good to sometimes fall back on these old folks to learn a thing or two from them?
Of course. I mean, we are building up on a legacy. We're not building out of thin air. There's music that existed before us that has either taught us how to connect more with people, created sounds that we can take from. Yes, so there's so much to learn from that.
There's so much to learn from it.
If you have a history in music like we do in Ghana, it would be such a pity not to know it and build upon it, because we are very fortunate. There are other countries who don't have such a rich history in music. We have different eras of it, from the E.T. Mensahs, the Nana Pedu. I heard you mention them on the way here. I mean, you have the 70s with Ambule, A.B. Krenzel. There's so
down to the
many
80s.
People. We haven't even spoken of CBC yet, you understand? So, and then you get to the 80s, you have sort of Amachi Dede, Lumba, Nane Champon. That's another era. And then you get into the hip life era, the first wave. Then you get into the second wave. Then you get into now, which is sort of somewhere in between Afro beats, hip hop, dancehall, and this whole new wave. So I mean, there's so much to build upon. So if you don't know where you're coming from, you won't know where you're going. Yeah.
But talking about the level of history we have in connection with music, do you think we've taken advantage of it enough?
Advantage, that's an interesting word to use. Probably not. I don't think we've taken our place in the world the way we should. But there's time.
There's time. There's time. And
time no day, but there's time.
Time no day, but there's time. Now, moving forward, do you think we'll be able to catch up with what we're supposed to have learned and used our history for?
I mean, the optimist in me says yes, but it's not a yes that comes comfortably looking at the pace in which we are building our music infrastructure, how we decide to celebrate the best amongst us. I think we've been talking about Ghanaian history. If you look at all these people we're talking about, whether it's A.B. Krenzel or CB, they were the best of their time.
Right.
I don't think we always prop up the best of our time, because we're in an era which is caught up in drama and hype and all of that stuff, which is fine. It's entertainment as well as art. They are going hand in hand, but we should be able to privilege both at the same time, and that will help us take our place in the world. Because if you look at the people we like to compare ourselves the most to, they are able to have people who represent the more entertainment thing. They are able to have people who are very artistically marvelous, all existing on the top notch. Here we want to separate it in a way in which we might risk always coming off one way and not as innovative as the scene might truly be.
So you think we easily discard our musicians?
Not discard, maybe not. We don't shine a broad light onto it. Look at female musicians, for instance, at least with the young ones. There always seems like we want a space for only one person.
We want a space for one person. So there's only one person shining at a time.
Then we are saying it's Ebony, or Miss V, but I think they can all coexist, and sometimes people bring different things. You have a lot of young ones coming up who are brilliant in their own ways and are potentially more brilliant if they are validated by the fact that what they are doing, which is dope, is supported or the light is shone on it. Otherwise, people tend to then compromise themselves in ways in which they never wanted to, and that never helps to really grow what we're doing.
You have had experience with J.H. Nketia.
Experience. That's my grandfather.
That's your grandfather. Yeah, so I want to believe you even grew at his feet, and he's had so much influence on you musically. Do you think that makes you sound deeper than you would have sound on the ordinary?
Oh, I mean, that is it's a privilege I'll always be very grateful for, because to come from that tree and to just have been privy to certain experience. I always tell people the first time I probably somewhere deep in my subconscious decided that maybe I would love to be do something musically. I was probably, I don't know, 6, 8 or something. Wow. He was returning from. He used to be a professor in the University of Pittsburgh, but he was returning to settle back home. And I remember very carefully that when the house and Konimo came, he had his stool in his bag and his guitar. So when my grandfather got there, Konimo took his stool out of his guitar, sat down, took his guitar, and did almost an improvised song welcoming him with everything I could understand. It was one of the most amazing things I'd seen in life. And I think at that stage I was like, yeah, I was incredibly attracted to it. So having that kind of experience in lieu of him is great. I've met a lot of other people. I mean, whether it's Cypriot players, whether it's Atenteben players and other things I've been privy to. I always tell this story about the fact that I unintentionally learned from him, because I used to try and always play his cassettes of field research and stuff so I could record my hip hop over it. So I'd play the cassettes to decide if what's on it is important or not. But the weird thing about it, through that process, you are listening to.
You're listening to it anyway.
You're just deciding, is this one important, so I can record Naughty by Nature on it. But so a lot, some properly good music has been lost because I recorded hip hop over my grandfather's, some of his field research.
Hip hop over your grandfather's field research.
But at least I imbibed the vibes as I was listening to decide, whether it was good or not.
Wow. So what as an established rapper, I mean, one of the finest we have in the country, what would make you say, yeah, so that's a dope rapper?
I mean, rap easily. Okay, for me, 4 things, obviously. There is the overall presence of vibe.
Okay.
That is,
vibe.
As they say, the je ne sais quoi, the thing, the X factor, the anything you want to. When you hear something powerful, it doesn't matter whether it's singing, rapping, you know it from that factor.
So X factor.
Yeah, the it thing. That's number 1, because that one I don't care, because if I don't understand the language, if I think the voice is weird, whatever, but I just grabs me. That's number 1. Number 2, obviously, is flow, because I think that is part of that X factor, and that's part of it that attracts you to somebody. It's like it shows you that how crafty they are, how skilled they are. If they are skilled, how they find pockets in the music and all sorts of stuff. Number 3, obviously, is content. And what that means is how interesting or original they are. It doesn't mean that they are talking about the sun, moon, and stars. It could be love. It could be as simple as pure water, whatever it is, but it's how original and interesting it is. I think that, if you look at the earlier people, whether it's Kwade and his style, his unique style, you hear that and you're like, goodness gracious, or it's a bravo, or it's whatever. So that's it, like how original, authentic the content is. And then finally, I think hip hop or rap is not young anymore, in the sense of, I think, it's not 10 years old. So there has to be a musicality to it for me.
There has to be a musicality to it.
That goes beyond just an understanding of hip hop or rap, what I mean? You can be scatting with your rap, and you can be doing as Appetus did on that Fiesta song.
So could that also mean style?
Yeah, so in a sense, in a sense, that's what no, but yeah, it is the musical style, I suppose. I think that's what binds us together as a scene.
Right.
Not as much how we're trying to find genres, but sort of the musicality tends to connect. Whether it's a high life bass or it's a certain kind of drums, how we tend to do it.
Right.
So I think those are the things for me. And not everybody will have all these in equal proportions. Some people, I think, for me, people tend to know that I'm authentic, easily different, musical, flow on point. Actually, I have all these four.
You have the vibe, that's the in thing. You have the flow, the content, and the musicality.
I humbly would suggest that would be the case. Yeah.
That would be the case. So the four. So if you're a rapper and you're listening, I mean, this is coming from M.anifest. I mean, of all. So 4 things that you need to have for him to say you're a dope rapper: vibe, flow, content, musicality, or style. Has there been a moment where you put on a rap verse and you had to soften it because you feel your audience wouldn't get it?
Excuse me. No, I don't know about soften it. I think I'm in the business of communication. That's what we are as artists. We're communicating things. What I do probably has layers to it. But, people try to... I mean, the long-running joke is sort of them trying to laugh at, he's difficult to understand. But on the contrary, every song that I have is very simple, whether it's Winia or Miniwa. The idea that holds it together is very simple.
The idea that holds it together is very simple.
What the song is about, no shortcut to heaven. All these songs are very simple.
Very simple.
What you have is layers of that you can peel and enjoy it beyond just today. It's not... I don't try and do it in a cheap way. Like, I don't try and sacrifice quality for accessibility. I think you can have both in a different way, and it can live longer.
Right.
If you have Bob Marley doing Redemption song, he's not dumbing it down. He's saying all these, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our mind. I mean, these are things that are have depth to it. That if you are 6 years old, you might not understand, but you might get at least the overall thing. You listen to Dolly Parton, Jolene. When I was young, I used to sing that thing. I didn't realize what it was about.
Jolene.
Yeah.
Jolene.
Yeah, but and then growing up and realizing that this is a difficult story of a woman. You see, so that's why. Yeah, exactly. So
you don't hold the opinion that your rap is difficult to understand?
No, I don't think so at all. I think the layers to it. So those who are casual listeners will enjoy it for the musicality and the simple idea that they connect to, and then those who are music lovers will also have the opportunity to enjoy other aspects of it.
Wow.
And those who don't like it, it's fine. I think I'm a divisive person that way, and I'm fine with that. Because if you do anything that's powerful in the world, I don't think you won't be divisive. So me, I've always been okay with being that.
You've been okay being you.
Yeah. And so that people either really love it or they don't.
Or they don't. So it's 2 things.
There's
you either
no
love it or you don't. There's no in between.
And if you go online, you've realized that in the past couple of years, as far as I'm concerned, with that group of people, which is the young people, that 18 to 25 who are the most engaged in that space, the millennials, etc. My name has always been a divisive thing in conversations, but it's always been.
But it's always been in the conversation.
and that's for me, I'm fine with that.
But has it been difficult, building it to this point, where that even though you don't accept the fact that your lyrics or your rap is difficult to understand, you do have people saying that your rap is difficult to understand. So has it been difficult for you maintaining your cool and lifting the brand to this level?
I don't think it's not even it's not a diss for somebody to say it's difficult, because it's like, okay, if you look at, let's say, a guitar player who can play simple chord progressions and licks, and then there's a guitar player that you'd be like, yo, this person's amazing. You can't replicate that because what they are doing is difficult. If that's the case, yes. I don't think I can easily be replicated. That's part of what, because I've built my skill level and trying to find my identity to a level that you can't just replicate what I'm doing. So in that case, if it's difficult, I have no problem with it. And I think it's also helped to build a very serious core following in terms, which has grown over the years as more people hear it. I saw online, a couple of things I see online a lot is sort of people saying, they would ask their friends and say, so-and-so was always saying, oh, I don't like M.anifest, but it's because they hadn't listened. And when they listened,
they liked it.
They liked it, and they changed the switch counts, as it was. So I'm okay. I'm okay with the fact that mine has been a gradual build, the build of the underdog. And even when now I am quite known and all this, that there's still the underdog status in the sense of the fact that I really go less from what everybody goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, talking about it being difficult to replicate your style or replicate you, have you ever had someone who sounds exactly like yourself, a rapper?
Impossible.
You've not heard anyone that sounds like you yet? Wow. Now,
I mean, you name one. I mean, you name one. I think. I don't think you can name one at least. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, you never heard anyone.
Yeah,
there's this guy called T-Rhyme. I don't know if he has your voice texture. Maybe I'll play a song from T-Rhyme for you to listen. Not yet, though. It's your time.
My voice texture.
Yes, he sounds almost like you. Yes.
He's got a baritone like this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Anyway, now let's go back to your, yeah, we'll go there. Yeah. Your four, the vibe, the flow, the content, and musicality. Now I'm going to mention each of them, and then you tell me, in your opinion, who you think has it.
You're going to mention who? What?
Like I mentioned flow. Who has the best flow for you amongst the rappers?
As in, let's do preambles. I'm taking myself out of this.
Yes, you're taking yourself out.
I think easily Sarkodie has the best flow.
Sarkodie has the best flow.
He's able to find a pocket on every song.
Wow.
So in terms of that, he's able to do the dance very nice.
Right. Vibe.
I think Walasi wins with that.
Walasi wins with that when it comes to vibe. So flow, Sarkodie, vibe, Walasi. Yeah. Now content.
I mean, let's see. See, me, I favor Walasi so much because I think he does have it. I mean, Walasi has it. Kwesiata has it. This is current in this current moment. What is coming to my mind?
Yeah.
Just looking at 2018, I think I would give it to Walasi and. You said what, content, right?
Yeah, content. So you mentioned Walasi, Kwesiata.
I need to listen to more T-Flow. I like what he does. So at least I need to listen to more T-Flow. But I know he definitely, what I've heard, he definitely.
So we'll add T-Flow to content.
Sure.
Cool. Now musicality, style.
Music. I'm going to fall back on the same people, and it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Because I should have more names, but definitely Walasi again. Let me think. Who else? Musicality. In this current 2018. I'd have to give that, I think, a little bit more. Because what is happening is sometimes with musicality, the producers are over... They're ahead of the rappers these days. Yeah, you're looking at Drummer, you're looking at Kuvi, you're looking at all these people who are
Kuvi and Co.
Whose musicality is exceeding the rappers. So I have to challenge the rappers to be more musical.
Why would you put Flo Kingston?
Oh, I like him. I think I think he has what do you call it? He puts an effort into his stuff. So yeah, no, big up to him on that. I think I want to see more of that it factor with him, where it's like that godly aura vibe thing. But he does his thing and big up. He does his thing. Yeah.
Anyway, is rap still lucrative? Or has it ever been lucrative here?
I think the fact that a bunch of us have managed to make a living from it is good. It's a good thing. I think when you talk to the generation before us, they always talk about how things have changed. Back in those days, it was things like Miss Ghana. There were only a few things that were possible. Now come to the current age, and you look at December and how many rap artists do you know that are having their own concerts, even major things. So we have advanced, especially in this very independent music struggle. And I think it's a thing that is a bit beyond rap. I think sometimes a bit limiting. Rap is the primary medium for a lot of us, but it's not necessarily the be-it-all of it. Which is why I think I like the younger ones coming up, because they blur the lines a bit more. And I think it's not been, it feels like it's not been allowed. We wanted to always separate it. This one there, this person is here, this person is here. So to answer your original question, I think it's a good thing that a lot of people are being able to work this life doing music solely and rap music solely. I think there should be more opportunity for people who haven't seen the greatest of light still to be able to make a living from it too. So there's more work we have to do. It can't be just a top tier group of people who are making a living from it. So the greater worry is that, let's say you have 3,000, probably 100,000 rappers in Ghana, right? It would actually be cool for people, for a good 1,000 plus or whatever, to be making a good living from it,
right?
In different whatever. So the pool hasn't broadened as much, even though those who have a name probably have more opportunities than those who came before us. But I think for me, I'd be interested in the pool broadening.
You'd be interested in the pool broadening, so we can have a lot more people coming in.
Being lucrative for a lot more people.
Yeah. Even though it's lucrative, it's not that broadened.
I think it's for people who really made a name for themselves.
It's for people who have really made a name for themselves. And you think we can still have some new crop of rappers who will still break through like yourself? So many of them.
So many. And it doesn't have to be that a person is known by, how many are we in Ghana now? Is it 30 or 29 million?
30 plus or so.
Now, it doesn't have to be that a person is known by even half of the population. They can maybe be known by 500,000, 1 million, but still be able to
make a living,
do shows in the different regions and other things, and have a structure that supports people on the come up. The structure that is lucrative is supporting people here, not people coming from here. If you are listening to this, I'm pointing up and down.
so like the structure is lucrative to people on top, not the guys coming from below.
Favors a few.
It favors a few,
man. Exactly. It does. I think we could do better with that. You know what I mean. So that would help, because it's difficult being on the come up and not feeling supported. Everything going against you. You're growing as an adult. You want to be able to fend for yourself. You have dreams, personal dreams. People want to get homes. They want to be able to support other people around them, and not knowing when their moment is going to come.
Wow. Not knowing when the moment is going to come. So you keep struggling until some
because
grace or
you're
hope.
spending money on production, on everything else, and they are banking on a dream. And it would be great if the ecosystem will support them at that stage.
Is this the reason you once said that the industry is trash? Because one, like you're saying, we do not have structures that can make you determine when your grace is going to come.
I like to exaggerate some of these answers to make a point. Now, I think if we are still having some of these very basic conversations about royalties and about performance spaces being available, etc., then we do have an infrastructure problem that we keep repeating conversations about every year. And where the only innovation seems to be coming from the music. So I don't want us to keep patting ourselves on the back. We are a nation of award shows. We're
a nation of award shows.
We love congratulating ourselves.
Wow.
Now
fast forward to where we are now. How would you describe the state of the industry?
Is that?
How would you describe the state of the industry as we speak? Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of there's a struggle for us to progress going on, and everybody. That's why you even have shows like this, and we have these conversations, and it's also engaged between fans and other things. We have an anxiety about moving forward, which is good. There's a lot more music being made because of the potential that technology and other things have done for people to do it themselves, the DIY thing. So out of somebody's bedroom is the next hit is coming.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. They don't need a big producer to begin and to keep moving. So that's going on in different pockets everywhere. I mean, so it's exciting for people. You know, you're not just having a top tier field with 10 now. Now people have options. If they decide like La Même Gang is their thing, they're doing it. If they decide that Beef for Bonnet, so there's so much of that, but there's attention, like I'm saying, in which people want to see our thing go forward. So our complaints are that I guess the music is becoming more prolific and there's a lot happening, but the industry in terms of infrastructure is not progressing as fast.
So it's affecting what's happening.
No, but there is a struggle and there's a tension in which we are trying to deal with. We are agitated as a collective because we want to move forward. So that's a good thing, because out of agitation should come action.
But the wheels that will take us there are not there. That's you talking about the industrial infrastructure deficit.
I think we want to get to there. Is what our current agitation will do,
right?
To take us there. Otherwise, we'll be caught in a cycle that will repeat itself from years.
Is hip life dead?
Hip life is dead.
Hip life is dead.
Yes.
How?
Well, it's that's what we do here. Hip life, I think, as a cultural phenomenon is fantastic. I'm a product of that.
Yeah, you're a product of hip life.
But what we tend to do is, as our music is evolving, we go one way so much that we kill its essence.
Yeah.
And we kill it for whatever is also coming next. But that is so. By the time Azonto came along, hip life by name or by culture identity, we had pushed it to the back.
It had been killed.
We were killing it. We didn't try and let it coexist. When reggae exists, dancehall can exist. But as for us,
we don't like coexistence. We kill to feel.
We haven't learned how to do it.
We haven't learned how to coexist.
Yeah, and we are very quick to say, "We did train my tone soon." So our hip life is dead.
So hip life is dead.
But the essence of it, which is sort of, we took hip hop and merged it with what is the music of our homeland, still exists in essence.
In essence.
But not in name or cultural identification. The millennials running around, I'm a late millennial. The millennials running around are not saying we are listening to hip life. So you cannot claim that it's alive, it's dead.
Anyway, did your brand get any benefit from the Kanta God MC banter?
You tell me.
I'm digging it. Yes, did you get any benefit from that? The Kanta God MC banter.
What do you think? I'm curious.
No. I want to know what you think about.
I've been answering a lot of your questions, but I'm curious to have
what I think. Personally, yes. I think it added a facelift.
A facelift.
Yes,
and plastic. I'll say
and
this.
Also brought attention.
Of course.
Yes.
I'll say this. Of course, because I think if for the people who were core supporters of me, they found a little bit of validation on the mass level in the way in which, as much as they were always putting me across in the conversation, they always felt like we are always put with people want to underground manifest. So I think, I think it was historic, it was epic, and it was music. Most importantly, it wasn't any other gimmick. It is music, and I think that's important. There's always a battle of ideas going on with arts. It happened before us, it will happen after us, and to have the confidence to do your thing through art and let it determine conversations about content and all these things of sorts. It's a good thing. So. And I've always been seeing myself as having vision and sticking to my vision and being able to stand for it. So it was a moment where you stand on what you believe in. Another person does that. Mutual respect. You keep moving.
But who won?
You said?
Who won?
Oh,
Would you have loved it to continue?
You said?
Would you have loved it to continue? I mean, that back and forth between you and Sark, where it generated a lot of conversations around content, around your brand validation, and so on and so forth.
I think it did what it did, and that's what it is.
You
don't try and force things. These things are organic. They should come from an organic place, and you don't try and do things just to keep attention.
Right.
Like I said, my career it's been the first thing you think about me is my art and creatively what I stand for. I don't want it to be anything else. and even in that conversation was music. So sometimes when certain things get prolonged, you get lost in the idea of what it was for in the first place.
Right.
So it's fine. It lasted where it should. And
when you're choosing people to do collaborations with, what are the things you consider?
Oh, I think a lot of it. I hate to keep reiterating this, but not hate. A lot of it happens organically. People who I like for a certain reason, and it might depend on what I'm working on at that moment, And it has no bearing with how popular the person is. If you look at, this year, you can see that I put a song out with Olamide, but at the same time, I put another one with Walasi. At the same time, I'm featured on B for Bonus Work. At the same time, I have a Kwesi Arthur thing. At the same time, it has nothing to do with. It has to do with the magic of the potential magic of the collaboration. It has not, and then just timing. It has nothing to do with popularity.
It has nothing to do with popularity when it comes to your
well,
choice
I don't want to say nothing in that most extreme sense, but sometimes maybe when to put it out. But honestly, like, I've connected with people at the beginning of their career when they have like 5 followers on Twitter, and if you look at my last album, when and all of that stuff. So, but it's really about what potential magic we can make together first and foremost.
That's the most important thing.
Of course.
Now, M.anifest invites happening on the 23rd.
M.anifestivities, rather.
M.anifestivities.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, M.anifestivities. So now this one got me.
No problem.
And you have names like Burna Boy on it, Simi, you have Kwesi Arthur, and you're doing it at the Bukum boxing arena. Isn't that venue too small for the kind of
too small? Hey,
Yeah.
This hard Ghana way. No, I mean, it's actually quite ambitious because Christmas is a busy season, and but I think this is one of our most ambitious M.anifestivities because we chose a non-traditional venue, a great boxing venue that we are going to transform into a musical space. I think people are really going to be pleasantly surprised, those who have never been to it. Number 2, we chose a lineup that is like, I think people look at it and get excited because you can see there are great acts, great music. It has nothing to do, once again, with just popularity, but with just how much people love these acts. Look at Burna Boy, people love him.
Yeah.
Simi, people love
Ifya.
Kwesi Arthur, Ifya, myself, B for
B
Bonus.
for
So we're
Bonus.
trying to do a lineup where there's no gimmicks, no fillers, just straight, incredibly good music. And I'm excited for it because this M.anifestivities is where we made a small departure, which is going beyond M.anifest. It's about a night of good music.
A night of good music,
yes.
going beyond M.anifest.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe in the future I might even just curate it, which is what one is doing. So I'm excited for that, not to just be the anchor for it, but to have all these people. Like, if you don't come for me, you come for Ben and see me. That's fine.
You would have come anyway.
Yeah, because the night is bigger than one person. I'm excited to be able, for us as a team, to have had this ambitious effort to try and put together this lineup. And we've seen the excitement. People are excited about it, and I can't tell you how much I'm excited for it too.
Wow.
December 23rd. Yeah.
Wow. What time should people start trooping to the place?
Okay, so if you see the flyer, you notice that what we've learned a lesson from previous years. So we want to start curating an experience that begins early. So you have a DJ battle, a rap battle that's beginning around 6:30.
6:30.
And so that the musical performances, I believe, will begin around 8:30.
Okay.
So because you want to reward people who come early, not punish them for being early.
So whilst
this
they're
time,
there
because we have learned our lessons and we're really going for an early show, because that's the time too that people want to finish your show and go and party.
Right, true.
So that we, so basically.
So what time are you looking at closing?
Closing. It'll definitely be before 1. I mean, hopefully even before midnight. I have to double check the. It's not late.
It's not late.
At all. I'm on stage quite early. I think, if I remember clearly, I'm on stage by 9:30 or 10.
By 9:30 or 10.
Myself, yeah. Exactly.
Okay, give or take 10. You're on stage,
yeah.
and then you rock till we close. You're definitely going to be there.
I don't. We've curated an interesting way, because most of the people on there too I have collaborations with.
Right.
So we have a very interesting way in which the sets are positioned, so that it feels like one fluid show. That it doesn't feel like
Okay.
Jump, this, that, and the third. So,
Talking about a special way is going to be created. Are you going to have an MC for it? Or there's a way you're going to start?
Charlie,
when
my
you
team
start?
knows this information. I think there's an MC for it.
There's an MC for
I
it.
think it's Manuel. I
Okay.
believe, if I'm clear about that. But I've been so focused on the rehearsals and other
rehearsals
things.
and stuff.
And telling the fans that get your get your ticket
Pre-order,
before.
man.
Yeah.
How much is it?
It's only 120 now. You know what's funny? When we started, we hadn't announced the full lineup. So we started with the early bird tickets that were 65. And those who got it based on the leap of faith, not knowing the lineup, now they're excited because you get to see Burna Boy,
Simi, and all these top names.
We see other orders for 65, but now it's at 120. And people should get it now so that it doesn't go out of the door. You can get it in so many different places. GMTlive.com. You can get it at Joy,
Cafe Pie,
and
Live FM and so on
and all that. So because get it now. I'm and it's also going to help if folks get it early so that it can be very fluid getting inside. Inside the venue. But I'm excited.
Any surprises on the night?
Always.
Could it be a new song from you, or it could be an artist who's not on the bill?
I think both. I know.
Okay.
I know.
You know both.
I know both. Yeah,
right. So
definitely.
What we don't know is who it is and what song it is you'll be releasing. And so for you, the listener, if you
we're
want
not releasing, giving them a live peek into it. So the first time you get to hear the song will be live.
Live.
Yeah.
And you're performing live?
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
Everybody.